Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. Today I want to bring you a beautiful fragrance, one that I do plan to be wearing quite a bit in the upcoming summer months, and one that will most likely be featured on my upcoming summer list of fragrances that I will be wearing. The fragrance we're talking about today, Creed's Vetiver Geranium. Take a look. Beautiful bottle. This is from their Aqua Original line. One thing I don't understand about this, I don't know if any of you guys who have this fragrance, this cap is garbage. Beautiful presentation on it, but it's just a light, cheap cap. It barely stays on. I mean, you cannot even dream to think about picking this up from the cap. It just barely goes on there. So I don't know what's up with that, but it's about the juice inside anyway, right? So first of all, I have my buddy A2 to thank for this bottle, for his generosity, going out of his way to get this to me via Max Forte. So thank you for that as well, man. Appreciate what you do in the community here. So let's get right into this fragrance. The notes for this: at the top, we got some citrus, we got lemon, we got bergamot, and we also have some apple. The apple plays a pretty big role in this. Into the heart of the fragrance, we have the geranium that we would expect. There's rose and also some cinnamon. And at the base, we have patchouli. There's musk, which is a major player. We also have some cedar wood, and there's some amber in there as well. And that's it. So you may be wondering, okay, where's the vetiver? There is no vetiver apparently, at least not a discrete note of vetiver. There does seem to be a little bit of an accord of vetiver though. We'll get to that in a second. So right off the top, you spray this on, bright, beautiful, bright. You get a ton of geranium, that kind of floral, rosy nature that it brings. It's almost like a less powdery rose. That's at the core of the scent right away. But coupled with that, you get that citrus. The brightness of that citrus makes it just pretty zesty up top. That's what I think keeps it from being too floral right up top. The citrus helps to tone down the floral nature of it. And the apple brings a little bit of sweetness, as well as just a note of apple. It's pretty undeniable. And it's a gorgeous, kind of a breathtaking scent, to be quite honest. I wore this today. I'm gonna put on another spray of this just to get this opening one more time. Oh man, wow. Such a beautiful blend, such a beautiful opening. So as we begin to dry down, after about 10 minutes, the citrus notes, as you might expect, begin to evaporate, begin to wear off, and we get into the heart. Now the geranium stays at the forefront. As we get into the heart, we get that cinnamon and that rose. Now the geranium and the rose are kind of similar notes in the same, genre of notes, and they kind of couple together to make it even more floral, while the cinnamon keeps things at bay a little bit. I don't really smell cinnamon, but I do get a bit of a spicy vibe, which again, I think keeps it from being too floral. And I feel like after about 30 minutes, the fragrance kind of hits the base and it stays the way that it is. It stays pretty linear from that point on. You get the geranium, you get a little bit of woodiness from cedar wood. The apple and the citrus is pretty much gone, like I said. Spiciness is kind of fading as well, but you definitely get that musk. And this again rides it out. Now this fragrance was marketed for men, but I do think that a woman could pull this off pretty easily. The floral nature of it being dominant really makes it easy, I think, for a woman to wear. And again, we'll get more into that later on. So I go with 5 to 6 sprays on this one. And I found that it created a really beautiful scent bubble and projected pretty decently for a good amount of time. I'd say up to about 3 hours is about how much this thing projected. It's not a beast in terms of projection at all. I think it would be to its disadvantage if it was a monster projector. It would be too much. It would be too much floral. So I'm happy that it has a little bit of subtlety to it, but it is present, which is great. Now we're gonna get right into the occasions. When to wear this fragrance. I think this is very much a daytime fragrance. Spring and summer, you can pull this off. Semi-casual situations, I think, is when it would work best. I would not say this is a good t-shirt and shorts fragrance, but if you do want to go casual, a nice white t-shirt with some nice fitting jeans and some nice shoes, you can throw this on. It's just going to be a very elegant, casual put together. Otherwise, I would go with a collared shirt. Collared shirt, probably no tie, some nice pants, you know, throw this thing on for the day and just know that I smell pleasant. I would also say this is a wonderful office fragrance as well. Inoffensive, very pleasant, fairly unique as well. So you're going to turn heads and you're not going to be getting on people's nerves as long as you don't spray too much. Now for a demographic, I don't really see the guys under the age of 25 appreciating this. I'm not saying it's mature as much as it is sophisticated. I feel like younger guys might actually find this a little bit too feminine, even though I don't think it is. It's not really unisex either. But again, there are aspects of it that allow a woman to pull this off easily. Even though there's cinnamon and there's woods in this, it doesn't come off too woody or too spicy for a woman to pull off. Spiciness and woodiness seem to be very dominant accords in men's fragrances. So because they're not so prevalent here, I think a woman could pull this off easily. But gentlemen, don't be afraid. You can definitely pull this off if you look the part. So overall performance, this thing lasts 8+ hours on my skin, if you can believe that. The interesting thing about this is that at least I could not find anything about the concentration of this fragrance. It doesn't even say on the bottle or the box whether it's an eau de toilette or eau de parfum. It just says vaporization spray. That's all it says. So I would imagine it's an eau de parfum just because of how it lasts on the skin. Again, 8+ hours for me. It goes strong. Again, it doesn't project all that long, but it will be present throughout the entire day and then some. It probably can go even longer than that. I just haven't really tested it much longer than that because I haven't needed to. So nothing to worry about at all in terms of overall performance with this one. Now in terms of the value, if you can afford this in terms of a bottle, I think it's worth it. I mean, you can find, I've seen it for as low as about $100. This is on eBay. Make sure you're buying from a trusted seller. But on eBay, I've seen it that low. I've seen it as high as 200 and a little bit north of that. I know Max Forte, I don't know his prices right now. I didn't get a chance to check, but I know he sells this one as well. That is actually where this bottle came from, was from him. So he has it in stock too. Otherwise, I would recommend sampling it if you can. Get a decan of this one, check it out, see what you think. And then if you want to get a bottle, it's not going to break the bank as much as the other Creed fragrances from the normal line would be, like a Ventus and Green Irish Tweed and Silver Mountain Water and all those. Those are kind of getting ridiculous in terms of price. But this one, the Aqua Original line, is not going to kill you. So overall, I want to give Creed's Vetiver Geranium a 9 out of 10. I love the scent. It's fairly unique. I love the way it develops. And it's just undeniably pleasant in my opinion. And the fact that it can be worn by both sexes, I think, is a major plus. The performance is great, nothing to complain about. It's going to last all day. Projection is more than adequate for this type of fragrance. And the value is not terrible. I think for the quality that you get, you're paying the right price for it. So 9 out of 10 for me. It's not my favorite fragrance of all time. That's why it's not a 10. And I think that's the only reason why. Otherwise, I highly recommend getting your nose on this, seeing what you think. If you have this fragrance or you smelled it, please let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next one.